What's up, you guys? If you're new, welcome to my channel, and if you're not new, welcome back. I hope you guys stick around and join my little family on here. If you're new, I vlog a lot. I have a lot of like Hawaii vlogs because we used to live in Hawaii, and PCS vlogs. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, you can go over there on my playlists and go check all of that out. But today I'm going to do a military wife Q&A. I normally get like the same type of questions, so I figured I would do a little Q&A video for today's, and next time you will obviously see a new vlog, but I hope you enjoy this today. So let's go ahead and get started. One question I get a lot is, has it been hard to make friends being in Texas? Since if you're new and you don't know this, my husband and I have been in Texas for almost a year, but we used to live in Hawaii. We lived there for 3.5 years, and for me it hasn't been like, making friends in Hawaii was very different than making friends in Texas. Making friends in Hawaii was a little bit more difficult because obviously I was a new wife. I didn't really know a lot about like getting on Facebook groups, and I didn't know that they even had like military wife pages and stuff like that. I was lucky to meet a couple of really amazing people while I was in Hawaii, but I didn't make as many friends as I thought I would have, which is fine. But here in Texas, I feel like is a totally different story for me. Luckily, I have had a lot of people reach out to me that watch me on YouTube. You guys saw me just in the last vlog, like meeting 2 subscribers, which one of them has been an internet friend for a while. She actually, her husband is in my husband's battalion, if I'm not mistaken. So I have been really lucky to just have really nice people, internet friends, just regular in-person friends. I've just been really lucky to meet a lot of sweet people through my videos. So I feel like finding friends in Texas was very different than finding friends in Hawaii, but in the best way possible. Someone asked, I saw that you bought pregnancy tests in a past video. I'm new. Are you planning on having kids soon? So if you have watched the vlogs or you just know me personally, no, my husband and I are not planning on having kids anytime soon. I think that's just like, at least for me, I know a lot of people who just keep pregnancy tests in their house as a just in case. So 9 times out of 10, the reason, actually 100% of the time, the reason that I have pregnancy tests in the house is just in case like I'm feeling sick or any type of way. I just rather have the pregnancy test in the house than me overthink a situation. So it's easier for me to just have the pregnancy test in the house. But everybody's different, and some people, they may not keep pregnancy tests in the house, but at least for me, pretty much every single one of my friends has pregnancy tests in their house. But no, my husband and I are not trying. That's not on our radar right now. Not to say that that could never happen, but it's just not on our plans right now to have kids anytime soon. Obviously, I do want kids. All of my friends pretty much have kids, and I love kids, just it's not for me right now. Okay, someone asked, biggest advice for someone whose husband just left for boot camp? I personally would say just to keep yourself busy. When my husband went to boot camp, we actually weren't married at the time, but I was busy with working full time. I was going to school, so I was very busy, and I had my own things going on. So I would suggest, if that looks different for everybody, if that means to you, oh, I want to start this small business that I've been thinking about forever, or I want to go work at this specific place, keep your mind busy. Also, do things that you enjoy. Take some time for yourself. I know a lot of the time our spouses' jobs like keep us on our toes really when it comes to like plans and things like that. So take this time for you to just do things that you enjoy. I know that obviously you're gonna miss your significant other, because who doesn't miss their significant other when they're gone, but I would just take it as a time to really focus on yourself and your goals and your wants and your needs. Another person asked, is the commissary cheaper than off base? So personally, in Texas, I have noticed that I've only been to the commissary once since I've lived here, and personally, It is cheaper off base. We live near an HEB and a Walmart, so HEB and Walmart is cheaper for me and my husband. I went to the commissary one time and I noticed that some things were overpriced at the commissary that I could go to HEB and get for 50 cents when at the commissary it was like $1 something. So little things like that that I've just noticed are a little bit more expensive or inflated at the commissary. HEB is the GOAT. If you guys don't go to HEB and you live in the Colleen area, go to HEB. You're missing out, I swear. Okay, what are a couple of fun things to do in the area? So for me and my husband, we love going to like Austin, Georgetown, Round Rock, Waco, Temple, like all of those places. If you are here, and I know a lot of people kind of get bored of Fort Hood, I would say definitely go out and explore because you're probably not seeing something. Texas is huge. I should know because I'm originally from Dallas. So Texas is a very, very, very big state. You can find something somewhere that would interest you. Luckily, we have found a lot of like cool places to eat and cool places to visit. Actually, if you guys are looking for amazing places and you're in the Texas area, I would check out the Instagram Traveling Taste Tester. She's amazing. She posts so much content of new places that she goes and eats, and it's amazing. It saves me. So a lot of the places that I showcase on my vlogs are from her Instagram. And if you're looking for good food recommendations, go to her. She has some of the best content and she's very descriptive with all the food places and stuff like that. And she also puts the location of everything in the tags. So it's always nice to know where a location is when you're actually looking for it. Someone else asked, how was your first year as a military wife? My first year was probably a little difficult just because I was 20 when I got married, and then we moved to Hawaii, and I'm about to be 25 at the end of the year. I was 20, and also I was getting used to, my husband and I had not lived together before we got married, so that was a really, really big adjustment, obviously. And then on top of all of that, that we moved across an ocean to a small island. That was all a lot to experience in the first year of marriage, but I can honestly say that it made us so much stronger. It made us come together because it's just you and your significant other. I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate to when you move far away from your family right after you get married and you kind of just have to figure it out. Like, obviously you have a support system, but it's really just you and your significant other, and that will either make or break you. And luckily for my husband and I, we really came together after that experience, and we look back at that and we really think that it was meant to be, like us moving so far away from our support systems, like our families. Because, and even my mother-in-law tells us this all the time, like she's like, that needed to happen for you guys so you could grow together in the best ways possible. And I could not agree more. It made us grow together, and we really learned a lot about each other and just our marriage. So if I could suggest anything, I would say, I know that it's hard being away from family. I know I get this a lot that, well, I'm so far away from family and I'm miserable and I'm just not like, I miss them so much. And I understand. I totally understand because I was there. But take this as a time for you and your significant other to grow together and transform. And if you look at your marriage now compared to where it was when it first started, or your relationship when it first started, obviously things change, people change, and sometimes that can be for the best. So I would just say take it in strides, take it day by day, but I can say I am truly grateful for all of the changes and just how far my husband and I have come in the last couple years. How do you handle when you're arguing with your husband? So Trevor and I are very different, obviously, and when we first got married, I know it sounds weird, but you have to learn how to fight with your significant other. You have to learn, like, what you like when you're arguing. Like, if we're arguing, we kind of take a step back. So Trevor used to be one of those people that when we argued, he had to talk about it right then and there, and we had to resolve it right then and there. and he would try to talk to me about it while I was still upset. And I never want to say something I'm going to regret in the heat of anger or frustration or anything like that. So for me and him, now that we've realized that, it's easier for us to kind of take a couple minutes back, like 5-10 minutes, however long we need to take, and then come back to the conversation and talk about whatever we need to talk about. Because sometimes, like I said, you don't want to say something you don't mean, and you also don't want to say, like, express things differently than what you're actually thinking. So I think, at least for me taking time back from a situation, sometimes I can even realize, like, oh, okay, like, I was wrong in this situation, or I was overreacting. Or sometimes he can think, like, oh, okay, I wasn't communicating well. So for us, it's easier for us to take a step back from the argument and then come back together and be like, hey, so now that we can actually talk without being like heated or upset or frustrated or whatever, it's like, oh, okay, I'm upset because of this and I just don't appreciate blah, 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 blah. So it's so much easier to have your thoughts cohesive and actually talk about something in a mature way without, like, Trevor and I are not yellers, so like when we argue, it's more so like, okay, well, you did this and da da da. Like, we don't yell, we don't anything like that. So that's why I say it's nice for us to take a step back and kind of look at, like, oh, okay, well, I didn't like what you did here, but okay, I was wrong in this situation. I'm also one of those people that when Trevor and I get into disagreements, like, I can easily say and apologize for things. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say this, or I'm very good at apologizing. I know a lot of people aren't good at apologizing when they're upset, but I can say I am. What are some traits that you love about your significant other? I have a lot. So I feel like I love that Trevor is probably the kindest and most giving person you will ever meet. Trevor will go Trevor will go above and beyond to help people, to be there for people in distress. Like, that's one thing I really, really love and admire about him. He is just such a giving person. He puts his heart into everything, and he always puts his best foot forward. He always means everything with good intent. And honestly, he's just really goofy. I love that about him too. Me and him together, we're goofballs. So I love that I can be really, like, goofy and funny with him. He has just always been very accepting of me being crazy and goofy. So I love that about him. He's also, like, he knows how to bring me up when I'm down. Well, it can be the simplest thing, like the smallest thing. He's my rock, and he's my significant other, and I'm very, very lucky. What are things you love about Texas rather than Hawaii? I feel like some things are very obvious, like the cost of living. Hawaii was a little crazy. Like, the gas was like almost $4, and here it's like $2. And just groceries in general are very cheap here compared to Hawaii. But I feel like I loved Hawaii for different reasons. Hawaii and Texas are obviously two different places, and you would think I'm more biased towards Texas because I've lived here my whole life, but I feel like I'm more biased towards Hawaii just because I loved my life in Hawaii, and I love my life here. I love my life everywhere, if I'm being honest, but Hawaii will always have a special place in my heart, even with the cons of the area or the place. But Hawaii was just a very special time in me and my husband's life. So I feel very blessed and lucky that we got to experience that, especially at the beginning of our marriage. Advice for someone who recently got married. I would say be patient, especially if you're married to someone who's in the military. Be patient. I would just say someone who just got married, enjoy it, because it's such a special time, especially when you're having new experiences and you're newly married. I would just say enjoy the time that you have together, because I still do, and we've been married 4 years, and we cherish our date time and our time that we spend together. So I would definitely say cherish all the little moments, because the little moments are what makes the big moments. Okay, so that is actually the end of the questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this little Q&A. I love you guys. I hope that if you're new, you stick around and join my little family on here. I vlog a lot, so if you want to go check out my vlogs, I would love that. And if you want to listen to the podcast that I have, the podcast keeps me super busy. You can go over there and listen to the podcast. Also, I'll have it linked down below in the description. I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this little Q&A, and I will see you super soon in a new vlog.